It's Tim Albright with AVNation with an InfoComm special. InfoComm 2023 happens the 14th through the 16th of June, and this is a very special one for me because I get to interview my buddy, Mr. Steve Greenblatt and Brittany DiCesare from Control Concept. Welcome, ma'am, and welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys are doing a class, and I kind of pulled Steve and told him I wanted to do this. He's not doing this willingly. I just want to point that out. But you guys are doing a class, Understanding Personality Types for Increased Productivity and Success. This is something you guys really do at Control Concepts, right? This is not, oh, let me take this. You guys actually do this, which is fantastic to me and fascinating. The class is the 13th, so the day before the show starts, from 4 to 5 o'clock. Mitchell will put a link directly to this class where you can register for it. If you've already registered for InfoComm, if you haven't, it'll ask you to register, and then you can use the AVNation code, which is oddly enough AVNation. But Brittany, I want to start with you on this. You know, Steve's the boss. We'll get to him in a second. What does something like this mean to you as an employee, but also somebody that you've seen this work firsthand?
I actually used this at my time at Avixa as well. So I came into Control Concepts knowing that this was a thing that we used in our hiring. At Avixa, I used this for leadership purposes, for management purposes, and team building. And we continued that here at Control Concepts. So essentially being able to understand everyone's different personalities and meet them where they're at and be able to really communicate to them in the way that they need. Some people need a lot of details. Some people, you give them a lot of details and they're going to mute you and they're not going to listen to you anymore. So understanding that, being able to really identify that quickly and then communicate to them in the style that speaks to them, you're going to find that a lot of those communication barriers are going to break down and you won't have those anymore. And so it also helps to understand yourself. And the great thing I love about being able to teach this is not only are you able to use this professionally, but you can use this personally. I have personality typed my husband, my family, my kids, and I know what incentivizes them. I know how to communicate to them better. And it just makes us a lot more cohesive in our communication.
All right, Steve, as I mentioned, you're the boss. So what brought this to you? When did you, was it an epiphany one morning? You're having a cup of coffee. What was the driving force behind bringing this to Control Concepts?
I started working with a business coach about 12 years ago, and one of the first things that he did is use this to get to understand me so that he can learn how to work with me, what was the best way that I was going to be able to function with him so that he understood what his makeup was, and he understood his type, and his type is very different than my type, but he realized that it was important for him to understand the way I work so that he can make an adaptation to my style. For example, I take longer to process. He needed to be able to understand that. I needed more facts and figures. He needed to be able to understand that. He's a little bit more outgoing, more boisterous, more direct, but he knew he had to tone that down a little bit for me. And so that was where it first started. But then what he did is he taught me the real power of it. And the power of it comes in so many ways, everything from interviewing and recruiting to managing. I have a whole portfolio of everybody who we've ever hired and all of their personality reports. And if you encounter a situation where something just doesn't make sense, or maybe you're hitting a roadblock or there's a friction point, it really helps you to understand why somebody's behaving a certain way. And then you can make some adjustments so that you can work with them better. And it helps to explain too, when somebody is different than you, why. Because, it's easy to think that somebody's going to react the same way that you do, but when they don't, sometimes it's hard to understand.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just different than you.
Correct.
Brittany, when you look at this class, from the perspective of somebody, you've been in this for a while, now this is your second company with it. What will I learn? What should I expect to take away from this class?
Well, first, you're going to have fun. It's interactive. We like to get people up and moving. We like to give you the opportunity not to be talked at, but to really find out from other people within the class, to be able to sit with people who are of like type and learn from them. So we like to have fun. We also expect you to be able to walk away with tips on how to easily identify which of the 4 personalities represented within the DISC personality style people are. So we're all a blend of them, but we typically have 1 or 2 that stand out higher than the others. And so we want to give you tips and tricks to be able to identify those. And then once you've identified what you are or what the other person is, what does that mean? Like a little tip, there's a personality that loves bright colors, and there's a personality that loves black. So you'll be able to take those away. You'll learn, if this personality was in a grocery store, what are they doing? Different things like that, just to make it a lot more personal, be able to really identify with it and take it out and put it to use.
All right, Steve, same kind of question, though, but from more the employer and the person, managing these folks. What will those folks take away from this session?
Well, from a hiring perspective, if you look at it from that point, there are certain personalities that work well in certain roles. It's not limiting. There are no right or wrong answers either, but there are certain that fit in certain roles. Plus, also, it's kind of an objective way to be able to validate that somebody that you're talking to really matches up with what the assessment says. But it's great for sales. It's great for just being more comfortable being yourself and understanding that that's okay. And we remind our team of this all the time when they're working with somebody and they need some way to be able to more comfortably interact. A lot of times, especially in technical industries, and people skills are not really our strength, but it gives us something to fall back on to be able to be more comfortable with those interpersonal relationships.
All right. Again, June 13th from 4 to 5 o'clock, Understanding Personality Types for Increased Productivity and Success. Brittany, if somebody wants to connect with you two before InfoComm, how do they do that?
LinkedIn and Twitter are great. You can find me at Britt Dice, or you can find my contact information on controlconcepts.net.
All right. Mr. Greenblatt, same with you?
My socials are at Steve Greenblatt, and also our website, controlconcepts.net as well. We look forward to having people be in the class, and we have some unique takeaways that everybody, I'm sure, will get.
Yeah, absolutely. As somebody who, my day job, I do lead a team of very diverse people from a personality standpoint. So 100% agree on the DISC principles. So for us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv. And follow along as we also head to Orlando for InfoComm 2023, the 14th through the 16th of June. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.